My name is Mick Ambrose. I'm a plumbing instructor here at River City Hope Street, which just pretty much means I come up here on Saturdays and teach people what plumbing entails, what different parts, what different material there is, different code, kind of what it takes to be a plumber and what to look forward to in a career in the plumbing industry. I grew up in the Leander area. My family moved us here in 1982, so I've seen a lot of progress around here, and I have deep roots to the area. And I feel like here at River City Hope Street, I could just kind of give back to my community with what I know best. Plumbing wasn't a choice that I made; it's just something that kind of fell into my lap, and I knew early on in my career that God had a plan for me with plumbing. It was early 2000s, cell phones and GPS wasn't a thing yet, and we had big map books called Mapscos, and whenever we had a service call, we'd have to open the book, look up the address, and map our way there like pirates. And we got a service call one day in a trailer park, and it was our company policy that we did not work on trailers, so it was odd that I got in the call in the first place, but they told me to go ahead and go anyway. I was really good at reading these maps. I did it every day. I was aces. Well, I get to this trailer park and I get lost. And I get so lost I have to pull over into this cove and pull out my map book and reorient myself. And while I'm there, this lady comes and knocks on my window and she says, "I've been praying for you all night long to show up, and here you are." And I thought, "Lady, you're crazy. I don't know what you're talking about." And at the time, mind you, I didn't even really believe in God. I didn't go to church. I didn't know anything that this lady was speaking about. But she insisted that she'd prayed to God all night long for me to be there, and I was there. And I said, "Well, what do you got going on?" And she says, "I have a leak under my trailer, and I'm about to go out of town, and I've been praying that somebody come fix it. And you showed up, so I'm here to ask you." And so I said, "Look, I'll fix it if it's real quick, if it's real cheap. I ain't got a lot of time. I got stuff to do." I walked over there, and it was a 5-minute, 50-cent fix. So I took care of the lady, and she told me thank you and all this stuff, and how she was a minister to pimps and prostitutes and drug addicts. And I just, thought, well, that's kind of weird. Minister lady prayed all night, and I fixed her plumbing. But I'm going to go on about my service call. And I got in the van, I looked it up, and I found right where I was going. I wasn't lost no more. Drove straight to the trailer, and I walked in, and the whole trailer was just full of crosses. And for the longest time, I just thought how weird and awkward that was. But it planted a seed in me, how like God was going to use me and use people like me to get His will done. And I didn't understand that for the longest time. But eventually later I came to realize that it's an awesome, awesome thing to be able to be used by God to fulfill His will. And to be that person that in plumbing, I could be that person that when somebody prays, I could show up with my plumbing skills and my knowledge and help fix them and make their day better and just kind of fulfill God's will for them.
My name is Steve Lyons. I've lived in Austin, Texas all my life, and I got involved in the electrical trade in about 1972 and worked for a contractor for about 3 or 4 years doing residential construction. Around 1974, I ended up going to work for the state of Texas and worked with a couple of retired union electricians who taught me the biggest part of my knowledge about the electrical trade. And I retired from the state of Texas in 2003, and during the time that I worked there, I did a lot of side jobs for people, so much to the point where I felt like I had enough business that I could start a business, which I did. Started Lyons Electric Inc. and went and got my master's license at the city of Austin. And since then, I have gone through periods of time where I've had a couple of people working for me and doing medium-sized projects. But to be more specific about River City Hope Street, a few years back, a friend of mine at Hope Chapel had told me that about River City Hope Street and that they were looking for electrical instructors. And I've always had a passion to teach people what I know, because I feel like it's so simple to me. And for a person who, is mechanically minded, they could be able to have that same wisdom and be able to go out and make a good living doing electrical work. So when this friend of mine told me about it, I made contact with the people over here, and it feels like I've been doing this now for about 3 to 4 years. And it is really such a passion of mine to teach people, regardless of their age, about how to do good quality electrical work. One of my friends told me one time that the thing about doing electrical work is that if you paint a house and don't like what you've done, you can always repaint it a different color. And there are other trades that you can, if you make a mistake, you can always go back and fix it. But with electrical work, the thing about doing that is, if it's not perfect, it can literally burn a house or a building down. And so that has made me have a real passion for teaching younger people the principles of the electrical trade and the importance of learning the code, of learning local ordinances. And that's one of the things that is so kind of amazing about us being in Austin, because we are surrounded by smaller towns that have their own ordinances on how they want things done. So when you get into the electrical trade, it's not just a matter of learning a national electrical code, but you have to learn local ordinances also. And so I really am very passionate about teaching people who want to learn about this trade. I work with Marty Reed, who owns Cool Ray Electric. He is a really good person. He's an excellent teacher, and I feel like that we bounce off each other and are able to share stories and share our experiences that have proved to really help a lot of young people get into the trade. One of the things that I really love about teaching at River City Hope Street is that we have been able to make contact with contractors who are hiring people. And we actually, a couple of years ago, had a young man who was very excited about coming in and learning, but he was literally working at HEB stocking fruit every single day. And after going through this class, we got wind of a contractor who was hiring, and he went over there and was able to get hired immediately. And we haven't heard from him since, but I'm assuming that he is doing quite well with getting different licenses. So that is my heart in teaching here, and we have just such an incredible support system with Salome and Bill, and I think that they're just doing an awesome job in advertising River City Hope Street and in attracting young people to come here so that we can be able to impart to them what we have been working 20 and 30 years to learn.
My name is Marty Reed. My wife and I are the owners of Cool Ray Electric in Cedar Park. We specialize in residential service electrical repairs. I've been an electrician since 1981, so that's 44 years. Also, I was a pastor in West Texas for about 20 years. A lot of times bivocational, where I had to have a job as well as pastoring a church. I've done that for a long time, so I've always been an electrician, and has always been my default to go back to doing electrical work. And it's been a great trade. I've been able to put 2 children through college. We're homeowners. We're building for retirement, and my wife and I have been married 40 years, and it's been served us well. And for the longest time, the society was pushing college onto people, and it's just not as valuable anymore. We need more and more tradespeople. I think for every 10 people that are retiring out of the trades, only 4 to 5 are replacing them. So we're really is a huge need, and it's a great opportunity for anybody who maybe doesn't want to do college. Maybe you've already done college. I did college while I was an electrician. I ended up getting a master's degree in family ministry while I was an electrician. So that's another opportunity too. But if you don't want to do college, you can go right in and don't have to pay for school. You can get hired on and start getting paid to learn. So it's a great opportunity for anybody of any age, really. The reason that I'm teaching electrical right now at River City, Hope Street, is because Christ, in his salvation work, has offered us the opportunity to be a whole person, where we're restored back to that right relationship that Adam ruined for us. And so because of Jesus, we have this opportunity to become this whole person. And part of that is work. That's something that God established. And so I want to be able to try to marry the two of having a Christian ethic, or having a faith in Christ, putting him first, and then using that and bringing that to our trade. And when we do that, then we're going to be, loving our neighbor the way we should. And so there's a lot of companies out there that take advantage of people, but we know that's wrong if you're Christian. And so that's something that I encourage in our trades class, is not just electrical knowledge. I mean, it's an 8-week class. You can't become an electrician in 8 weeks, but you can get exposed to the trade. What I try, and what Steve tried to do, is we try to encourage work ethic, good attitude, and caring and thinking. And so that's why I do it. I want to help people become holistic people, where they're not just working and there's no relationship or a really bad relationship with God. I would like to see people have a great relationship with God, have a great relationship with other people through a trade. Electrical is a great trade, and that's my why. As far as personal, my wife and I, like I say, we've been married. Her name's Donna. We've been married for 40 years. Our anniversary is actually next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And we have 2 children. Our son is almost 38. Our daughter is 35. And we have 4 granddaughters. They're ages 7, 6, 5, and 2. So we're really busy with grandchildren. The thing I would like to talk about most is granddaughters. And so they're the best part of being the age we are, and we're fortunate and blessed that they live close to us, and so we get to see them quite a bit, and that's been really, really good. And hopefully it's going to be a situation as they grow older, they can also grow in faith. And me and Donna, part of our role as grandparents is to encourage that and model that, and so we try to do that. And that's basically everything that I do, whether it's teaching electrical trades or trying to be a husband and a father and a grandfather, is to model, hopefully, a good relationship with Jesus.
My name is Omar Zamora. I am a master plumber. Been a master plumber now for 3 years. I own my own company with my older brother, Jose Zamora. We own Pro Veterans Plumbing. We've been doing this for 2.5 years. What I do here is I help students that may not want to go to college or don't have that urge to want to go to college and pick up a trade, something that is going to be a life skill that is going to be long-term, not short-term. Our job is to teach, educate, and hopefully get them enrolled into a company that they're actually going to be fit well with, and just move up. I started these classes, I want to say about 5 years ago. It was Pastor Doug James that got me involved, and he knew how passionate I am with my trade. He asked me to participate. I've enjoyed it ever since. I am a second-generation plumber as my father. He taught me the trade, and I fell in love with my father's trade. And I wanted to teach these younger people a trade that they can fall in love with, something that they can do and they're good with their hands, and be proud of what they do. And God's given us this gift of being able to help and serve others, and plumbing has definitely taught me how to serve others. Came back in my faith in 2014. God called me out. I was in a dark place, and He rescued me. Not knowing my worth, not knowing who I was, He got me out of that. because of it, I've learned who I am. My true identity is his son. And he has a lot of work for me to do, as in helping others grow their faith while teaching them a trade that they can use to be able to feed themselves, feed their families, giving them a trade that they can do something with their hands. But at the same time, we're feeding them spiritual milk at the same time. That is something that I've learned to do, to teach, to fall in love with the gospel all over again. Seeing the light of others, falling in love with the gospel. That's what brought me. That's what's gotten me here. My faith has grown quite a bit in the years that I've been doing this, as in not just reading my scriptures daily, but understanding it and actually being able to defend my faith, finding other like-minded Christians to support one another, to help each other grow, and how to be able to teach these younger guys to do what's right and not fall in the things that I did when I was in that state. Not to fall in despair, but to know that God loves them. That even if they do fall, they'll hopefully remember the words that we're teaching them here and giving them to know that there is hope, and the hope is in Christ. So this is what I do. I love what I do, and I thank God every day.